Okay, so there you are. So, again, good afternoon. So, for this, we are now on our second quarter, first week. Okay, and the first module, and it's entitled Explaining Visual and Verbal Relationships. And this is for our first asynchronous. So, what are the activities and tasks that you're about to do in this asynchronous class? So, with the guidance of your home learning partner, and I hope that your parents are around, you have to perform the following. First, to answer the 6-item test, which is entitled Getting Started. It can be found in Clay Division module, and 4-item pre-test, okay, which can be found in Quarter 2 CMSHS activity sheets. Again, this one is there's a code, okay, wherein you can answer this, okay, because I put it on as one. So for you to have easy access of it. Then after that is for you to answer the 3-item review test. It's in Google Documents. It's posted in Google Classroom. Then we have to discuss, read, and analyze the discussion in the Clay Division module. And of course, as our assessment for this afternoon's synchronous class is for you to answer 2 activities, okay? Activity 2 and 3. Okay, there you are. So, of course, in that getting started, before we proceed to the other parts of the module, of course, we have to check your readiness for the lessons. So, in this part of this module entitled Getting Started, you're going to answer the given activity by interpreting verbal visual relationships using graphs, tables, and information map. I think you have seen this on your Quarter 2 pre-test, right? So you have to analyze closely the given verbal and visual presentations through graphs, infographics, tables, and information maps. And that is in Quizalize. Again, I have, I think I sent the code on your Google Classroom. Next, this are the graphs, okay, or the visual verbal relationships or text that you will be seeing on the Quizalize activity. Okay, so it's the monthly income of Miss Dinah, then the learning modalities. Okay, then on the second one, which is the review test, you have learned from your previous lesson, okay? We discussed last year, okay, how to use a range of verbs, adjectives, and adverbs in expressing emotional responses and reactions to an issue. So I will be giving a concept map wherein you're going to fill in the blanks with the correct words from the box below to complete the idea of each sentence. And again, it can be found on your Google Classroom, Google Docs, okay? So this is that activity or the review test, okay? Now, let us move on with the discussion. So what is this visual verbal relationship? Well, this is a text combined with visual elements, okay? The reading path here is non-sequential. There are the presence of pictures, graphs, tables, and graphic organizers. So these things that I'm going to discuss can be found as well on your Clay Division module that I sent on our Google Classroom at the same time on our Messenger chat. Okay, so the first one, let us discuss this graphs, charts, tables, and diagrams. And there are the main types of graphs or bar graph. Well, you are knowledgeable with this, or bar chart, line graph, pictograph, pie chart, and diagram. So what is a bar graph? As you can see on the example, okay, this is an example of a bar graph, a common type of chart which presents data with a rectangular, okay, bars that differ in their sizes. So we do have it differs from one another, right? Okay, small, big, medium. Okay. It is usually scaled so all the data could fit on the chart. So it shows a relationship in its series of data which can be independent from each other. So the height, okay, the height or the length of the bar points or of the bar points out the indicated value of frequency. So in this sample bar graph, it points out the number of buses manufactured based on year. So number of buses. Okay, so there you are. This is an example of a bar graph. The second one is a line graph. Okay, so what is a line graph? It is a common type of chart which displays information as a series of data points connected by straight, okay, line segments. So there are lines and segments to show trends, right? So in the sample given, it points out how many monthly salary or monthly sales, rather, monthly sales vary in every year. So as you can see here, okay, line graphs represent how data changes in a certain span of time. So this type of chart is handy when you want to demonstrate trends or numbers that are connected. So if you wanted to use this one, then it would be good. Okay. The third one is a pie chart, as you can see, okay, a circular chart, a circle one, which is divided into slices. So as you can see here, 50%, 7, 10, 3%, 12, 18, or portions to illustrate proportion, okay. In this sample, it presents Tino's monthly expenses, okay. Uh, as we know that it's very important, or not all, okay, not all text can be delivered easily. So with the help of these charts, graphs, then it is easier for us to grasp what is the information trying to give us. Okay, so in this one pie chart, it shows a visual on how a whole is divided into a variety of parts. So each segment is a category within the total data set. Okay, it represents a percentage distribution. So you distribute it. Okay. The next one is diagram. Okay. And as you can see here, diagram is created to illustrate how different parts work and overlap. Okay. At a certain point. So one example or one type of a diagram is the Venn diagram, introduced by John Venn, of course, in 1890. A diagram that shows all possible logical relationships between a set of the items, compromises of two overlapping circles. So it shows here an example of the two groups of mammals, or animals rather, animals like mammals and fish, which also show a certain similarity. So they're similar when it comes to they're both vertebrates and have a skeleton. Wherein the other type of the diagram is a concept diagram, okay? This is a diagram that depicts suggested relationships between concepts. Typically represents ideas and information as boxes, okay, in a box. And circle and uses lines to show the relationship between them. So if you happen to see a concept map, that is already an example of a diagram, a concept diagram, okay? Then the fifth one is table. Okay. Well, we use table if you wanted to record facts in simplified and organized manner. The boxes, okay, across the page are rows, and boxes going down the page are columns. So these are rows, and the other one is the column. Okay, so the first row and first column in the table are considered the headers that identifies the information. So in this sample, you can see it shows the different provinces: Batangas, Cebu, Davao, Laguna, Mandaue, Zamboanga. Okay, the different provinces or city with the number of actual deaths and cases of COVID-19. Okay, so this is a table. Another type of verbal visual or visual verbal text. Okay. The other one is a pictograph. So what is a pictograph? It is an ancient or prehistoric drawing or painting on a rock wall. Okay. One of the symbols belong to a pictorial graphic system. It is a diagram representing statistical data by pictorial forms or photos. Okay, as you can see in this example of a pictograph taken from englishhints.com, we do have the reading competition results, okay, of this students, Zane, Seth, Darren, Josh, Hallie. We're in. We have a legend. Each book represents two books, okay, or each picture, each photo of a book represents two books. So a pictograph presents data using images. I think you're going to do one performance task using pictograph. Okay, it represents the frequency of data using symbols that are related to the data presented. So this is the simplest ways for gathering statistical data, and reading it is extremely easy as well. I think yes. Okay, pictograph is the simplest way for gathering statistical data. Okay, so this lesson deals with understanding the visual elements accompanying text in order to improve our comprehension, of course, especially when dealing with informative materials. So you are expected to explain visual verbal relationships illustrated in tables, graphs, and information maps found in expository text. I think you have answered that already in your quarter two pre-test. You have seen a lot of graphs, tables there. And why is it important to know about the visual and verbal text? Okay, the use of visuals helps in understanding data or information, right? Without reading much the text, one may easily identify and classify the given information through visual presentations such as graphs and tables. So I think that is the essence, okay, why we need to discuss, we need to study, okay, the verbal visual text. And honestly, you have known this already when you were in elementary. It was discussed to you the use of graphic organizers, okay, how this graphic organizers can help us, can help you, okay, when it comes to reading, okay, and informative material. So I hope you're ready now. Okay, and answering our asynchronous or task. Okay, first asynchronous task. Okay, so this time you will practice what you have learned on the visual verbal illustrations about graphs, table maps, concept maps, charts, and infographics. So read and do what is asked in each activity or in each task. Okay, so I think there you are.